Hey everybody, it's Angela, and I just have a couple of cards to share this time. This first card is one that I'm going to send to my mother-in-law for Valentine's Day, and the papers that I used for this pretty much are all from this My Mind's Eye Love Me collection, and they also had a sheet of die cuts that I used a lot of the elements out of for this card. And so this is just a regular white card base. I layered some of the designer paper in the background. I used some of this glitter paper from Glitz to punch out this doily, and this is a cherry lin die cut that I believe is called Nautical Wheeler, and I just love this. I used this on my last card share for a card that I made for my father-in-law for Valentine's Day. So when I had that out, I went ahead and stamped or punched out several designs. So anyhow, I put that on the paper, and then some of the die cuts from the die cut sheet, You plus Me equals heart, and this hugs and kisses, which I put up on foam tape. Also, these three little hearts I took from the die cut sheet as well. This one I inked with a little bit of red ink just to make it stand out a little more. And the roses that are on here are all from Wild Orchid Crafts, just the little tiny roses. And so that's the outside. The inside is really simple, just more of the designer paper, some more of the die cuts from the die cut sheet, and another piece of the Glitz paper on the background. So I'm just going to write a note to her and put some pictures or something in it and get it sent off to her. I'll see her this week, so I'll probably won't send the card out till the following week for Valentine's. And then this card is for my great Aunt Nelda. My grandmother has long since passed away, but her sister Nelda is turning 90 on February 7th, I believe it is. And they're not having a big party or anything for her because it would be a little too overwhelming, but they did ask if everyone could send her a card. So this is the card that I made for her. And I used my coupon at Michael's recently to buy this pack of corrugated cardstock card bases that come with the envelopes, and I just really love them. I love the feel of them and the quality. And so I just took that card base, and the paper that I used on top, or actually for the whole card, is all from this London Market 6x6 by Pink Paisley. And I just love the really vintage light colors on this, and I thought it would be perfect for this card. And I just put a panel of 3 of the different papers across the front. Then I layered 2 papers to make my sentiment, and I put it up on pop dots. And then in this corner I used some rosette trim that I believe I got from Saw Crafters, and I just love this. I can't tell if it's really, really light pink or if it's more of a beige or whatever, but it's gorgeous, and it just matches this paper collection so well. And I did put a little bit of the stickles just around on the flower a little bit and around the edge of this interior block of color. And the stamp set that I used was this one. It's called Stamp and Punch, and it's by Hot Off the Press. And what's cool about this is they've sized these stamps to fit with some of the major punches that are out on the market. So I used this square one in tandem with my Marvy square punch, and that worked really well. If you don't have the punch, you just cut it out, but it's really nice because you can, just especially with the ovals and circles, you can use the punch with it. And then I used the Happy Birthday, so you can mix and match all the interior sentiments. So I just used the square with Happy Birthday and stamped that for the front. On the inside, I just layered more of the paper, and down here I put this big stamp, Family, and that was from this Inkadinkadoo stamp, and this is called, maybe it's called Thanks, I'm not sure. Looks like I got it at TJ Maxx, and Vintage Expressions is what it says. So it's a really cool stamp set. It's got some beautiful images. So I just used this big one here. And then I also stamped Happy Birthday again on this strip, and I used this little stamp that I believe I got in a supply swap from Sarah in the UK. Thank you, Sarah. And I just used the Happy Birthday sentiment across the top. And so that is my card for Great Aunt Nelda. I'm kind of a novice at doing stamping. I haven't had a lot of experience with stamping. And maybe someone out there can give me some tips, because I use the Tim Holtz tea dye ink to stamp everything, and the ink seems to pull together like in little droplets. It seems to like bead up on the surface of the stamp. So when you stamp it, it comes out kind of splotchy. And I don't know if you can see that, like if you look at the M or the I, see how splotchy it is? And on the Happy Birthday, I think maybe I put too much ink on it, and this one, or maybe I pressed too hard and the ink bled a little bit, but it's really splotchy from like beading up on the surface of the stamp. And I don't know if it's that maybe the Tim Holtz ink isn't the best ink to use on an acrylic stamp. Maybe it's the quality of or the type of acrylic stamps I have. Maybe I press too hard. Maybe I leave it too long. I don't know. Maybe I use a hard surface to stamp on. Maybe I need to put it on a soft surface. I've seen people do that, and I'm not sure why. So if anyone can give me some tips or tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I'd like to get a crisper image on some of these, and I'm just not having good luck with this. Maybe I will send this video to Nicole at Scrapology. I'm one of her subbies, and she does a lot of stamping and has a lot of different inks and stuff, and so she might be able to recommend some inks or tips to help me make my images a little better. So anyhow, I don't think my Great Aunt Nelda is going to care, and I think she's going to love the card, so I'll get this sent off to her. And if you have any questions or anything, or if you have any tips for me, please just leave me a comment below. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.